title of this video is how do you get to the spirit realm? But the first question would be, do you believe in spirits? I think I can start that way because most people do have religions, and most people do believe that when they die, that there's some part of them, if they live right by their religion, is going to go to a better place. And so I argue to say that that thing that goes to another place is sort of like a spirit or a ghost, something that's not a physical body. So most people, when you ask that question, do you believe in a spirit? They're going to say yes. And so if there are spirits, where is the spirit world? Where is it? And then how do you get to it? Perhaps the way that you get to it, if you are a religious person, you die. When you die, you go to that spirit realm. Some people even stand and say that that's where you came from before you were born. You came from the spirit realm. Some people call it heaven, Jannah, Nirvana, these places, right? These different dimensions. So, okay, most people would agree that you get to the spirit realm by coming here. You leave there, coming here, and then if you die, you go there again. Okay, so what I stand to say is that perhaps that even when you dream, you are in a different room in the spirit realm. And if you're here on earth actually trying to improve yourself spiritually, mentally, and physically, you could actually open up that room of dreams, right, in the spirit realm. And then you can have different experiences like astral projection, shared dreaming, things like this. You can have different types of experiences while you are dreaming. What other ways do you get to the spirit realm? So you die in dreams, right? You're there in a different state, different form while dreaming until you actually learn how to move around there. Then you could get there if you had a major accident, some sort of shock to the body, some sort of accident or surgery. This is where people have out-of-body experiences. They're floating and hovering above their body. What is hovering and looking at the body? It is the soul, the spirit that is inside it, this body. This is your divine temple. It is your house. It is where you live. It is what you drive. This is what you drive around. The soul drives this body around, right? I'm in a car right now, and I would be the soul. This would be the physical body. I drive it around. If it crashes, I might not be able to use this body anymore, hence out-of-body experience, hence what happens upon dying. Okay, now I'm dead. I can't get inside of this body anymore. Now you're in the spirit realm. Now you're a ghost. Now you're dead. Perhaps you can get there just by breathing and meditation. Perhaps there are different ways to get to this spirit world. And so now that you're thinking about all this stuff and the spirits that are in the spirit world, that when people see ghosts, these things, I've seen the image of my grandfather 6 years after he died on December 18th of 2015. Yeah, I saw my grandfather. He had died 6 years prior. Now, people seeing dead people, they see them different ways. I'm going to upload a video soon, an interview I did with a friend of mine named Miki about her experience from childhood seeing ghosts. Sometimes I wonder if I didn't see a ghost until I was 2018. That makes me, no, that was 2015. So that makes me 38. 38, the first time that I saw a ghost. Right? But a ghost is in the spirit realm. 3 years later, in 2018, I would get a realization of a past life, that I lived another life. I didn't see ghosts when I was a child, but I did pay attention to synchronicities and coincidences and serendipitous moments. I always paid attention to those things. That's why I was able to write the book, Tooth and Rada Prophecy of Reincarnation, Star Codes of Immortality, the hip-hop Bible. See, even the music was a part of it. The music, what was inspiration, spirit, from me, download frequency, speaking to myself from previous lives as I'm uttering the voice Emmett Till in my music, not even knowing that that was me. Emmett Till, the end of time. Perhaps, though, you could get to the spirit realm by meditation. Perhaps this is what the Buddhists and the monks were talking about. Perhaps these are experiences that people have when they're on their spiritual path. Perhaps you can get there through communion with the sacred medicines. Perhaps certain sacred medicines take you there. They push you there. This is what people go and see shamans for, right? Part of my journey is having that happen to me. Going to that realm with the medicines. I've gone to that realm in dream. I've gone to that realm in meditation without the medicine. Laying back, getting my body to turn on, to vibrate, and then separate from my own body and look down at it. I've had that happen. So you can't tell me what you believe. Your belief has nothing to do with what I've experienced, you know? And what about when people have experiences like sleep paralysis? They're separate. They cannot use and animate their physical body. And they see something there. Perhaps it is like a person being afraid of their own shadow. They're seeing something there. They're seeing themselves, their shadow form. Their shadow form. If you think that there is a spirit realm, a different dimension that you can't see, how do you get there? How do you get there? You know, you get there by transforming your life. Transforming your life, or making an effort to transform your life. Being on the journey. Being on the journey. Having a divine destination. You need a divine destination. It's many destinations. You can just be going on a trip or vacation. What destination do you have in your life? You need to be on a divine one. And on the course of that divine one, that's when you begin to have experiences that will help lead you to your destiny. But if you waste your life and you don't even have a divine destination, you might fall victim to fate. You don't want that to happen to you. You want to be the master and commander of your ship. How do we get to the spirit realm? And what do we do when we get there? These are the things that I wrote about in my book. See, just as people don't value the air that they need to breathe to live, people don't value the subtle coincidences, which is the language in which God speaks to you, the Creator. My book is basically a deciphering. If you read my story, you would essentially learn how to read the star codes of synchronicity, the star codes, the lost language of star codes, the lost language of how God speaks to you through synchronicity, serendipity, chance, coincidence. And you'll learn about the cyclical and immortal part of your soul, your immortal being, reincarnation, resurrection, coming back here again, a real life story, a real life case. You know, so you can pick up my book at tutemra.com, tutemra.com, and learn the lost language of star codes, reincarnations,